Welcome back, everyone. This is Eric at Steam MacGyver. Today we are making yet another cup on the old lathe. The reason is because the wood is free and it's a fun little activity to do with free wood and lathe that you bought to make pens. But you know, pens require buying a lot of kits. At least the good kits are like, pretty expensive. So you gotta, unless you're selling a lot, you ain't gonna make a lot. Let me put it that way. Anyway, let's throw this puppy on the old lathe here and have at it. So this is a pine. It's a some type of pine tree, I think. It's kind of hard to tell because who knows what I dug out of the side yard. So anyway, so it's not some exotic wood or anything like that, but it's pretty cool. It turns pretty good. And even though I took the bark off, you still have like, I don't know, whatever layer tree it's called to, to still have to get off a lot of this stuff. And this stuff just flies right off. Now I'm using a roughing gauge. Believe it's a 1-inch roughing gauge to go ahead and just smack off all the heavy stuff and try and get this thing more or less round. You gotta, I mean, if you're lathing something, the whole point is to make it round. So, but anyway, just watching some of this fun stuff. I mean, it's so satisfying to seeing all that wood chips just flying off like that. It's like, I don't know, there's just something magic. I mean, I don't know how much therapy costs these days, but for the cost of the lathe and finding some wood, this is like way better than paying for therapy, because you don't have to, explain it all to someone, and then you're done when you want to be done, not when they say, oh, time's up. You can just, keep going. And in the background, however, now usually I have my microphone on and I'm talking while I'm doing this type of stuff, but what happened was the microphone, the little lav mic, it died on me. Look at that slow-mo though. Look at that slow-mo. See how satisfying that is? Oh, that's good stuff there. Just checking. Alright, we gotta keep going because we gotta get down to the, just the wood, none of the, whatever that crap is. Well, let's see here. So, yeah, it makes you feel good just kind of carving into this and making something. Be sure to adjust your tool rest so that, now that it's round, you can actually make it round. Okay, so the right side is technically the bottom at this point, okay? Now, I'm not doing anything crazy with the design, but you gotta kind of figure out where, how much you gotta cut into it so that you can clamp it on when you turn it around. And then the screws go in so far on the other side so you gotta kind of mark it off. It helps. I don't know, you don't have to. You can do whatever you want, but you put a little, because it's also fun running the pencil on the turning wood. Yeah, it's kind of fun. I don't know. But you gotta, mark it off and kind of generally give yourself a design to work with. Okay, that's what we're really doing. Also, the fact of the matter is, this is basically at the point where this is probably the strongest the wood is attached to the lathe. So if you're really gonna dig into it, now's the time to do it. Knowing that when you flip it around, you're still going to have to round it out a little bit, because if you flip it like, it'll never match up. Why? I don't know. It's one of those mysteries of the universe. I don't know if it's because of the Matrix. If it is because of the Matrix kind of thing, like we're living in a simulation, then somebody needs to fix some code. Anybody else ever read the newspaper? Like your little county rag, whatever, little city newspaper. Well, let's see, we're going to have a maritime festival. Tall ships coming into port, pay money. Oh, it even has like a festival map. It even looks like a pirate map too. Cannon battles. It's kind of cool listening to those things go off. That looks like fun. Lots of pirates, wenches, all that other good stuff. Well, let's see here. We have back to school. Let's see. New Dana Hills principal, so-and-so. Welcome students to the first day of classes. That's mighty white of her. Let's see. Dana Point resident, so-and-so, giving back with home care for seniors. Good for her. Barks and Brews. There you go. Take your dog somewhere. Alcohol. Lots of craft brews. Trying to hook up. That's what you're trying to do there. Oh my gosh, is that your puppy? Oh, what kind of puppy is yours? That's a great puppy. Want to go have sex? Okay. Classic car show returns. Neat. The Waldorf Astoria Monarch Beach to launch a gourmet gatherings dinner series in case you got too much money in your life. Let's see here. Let's see, anything else going on? Grappling with growing the grid. Who cares? Oh, here we go. New year begins. CSUSD pursues goal of increasing academic achievement. Well, goddamn, that's a hell of an idea. Let's see, all kinds of live music, this and that. Tom Rush, if you know who Tom Rush is, he'll be playing. What else we got? Home improvement guide. The kitchen tune-up. Here's how you do a kitchen tune-up. Step 1, have a lot of money. Anything else? The dopamine design craze. Where the fuck that is. All right, everyone, break time's over. Let's get back to work. So here I am working out the bottom of the cup. You gotta carve out a bottom hole area so that the rim of the bottom is nice and flat on a more or less flat table. You just don't want to make the whole thing flat on the bottom, because if you do, it just never works. It'll be wobbly, no matter how good your parting tool is. So anyway, that's what we're doing here. Now we are just working out. But the thing is, though, is I'm using this square carbide tip, and it's just not going easy. I mean, come on, this wood ain't that tough, and it's just, it doesn't sound right, and that's a big thing. You can tell by the sound that the bit's making. But something isn't going right, and it's important to know that when you're working on this, working on wood. It's like if something isn't right, then you got to know that something isn't right, and you got to kind of fix it. Is there something dull with this or something? Like, son of a bitch, come on, boy. There's the bottom of it, but so what I did is I rotated the bit on the carbide tool, and all of a sudden it just started working like really well, and I was like, oh, son of a bitch, man. Anyway, needless to say, we got what we needed here. Oh no, I think it's too big, guys. Oh no. Darn. Alright, so let's go ahead and shape it up again. See how there's some wobble? So here's our chance to do our final shaping. Since this is the bottom, and then we'll go at it. Needless to say, during the break, I switched out my microphones and used one that was actually charged. So you get the action commentary now. Real gentle, because you gotta get this cut as nice as possible. Yeah, I'm not gonna do any like funky ass designs here, That looks pretty sweet. Let's do some sanding. So funny, on the radio, I don't know if you can hear it, but they're discussing pilots, and in particular this pilot who took mushrooms like 2 days before, and then he was flying the jump seat, and then he pulled the old throttles back on a flight he wasn't supposed to because he was hallucinating and all kinds of stuff. So he was on mushrooms, okay? I mean, that's kind of a no-no. But then they're talking about mental health issues. And that's not a mental health issue. Being on mushrooms, that's not a mental health issue. That's an idiot issue. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, Because the other thing is, so like when you're a pilot, you have to get your medical, you have to put everything that you're taking. And, a lot of people lie because if you so much as, say that you had the sniffles, you'll lose your license. And it's not really cool because you're like, hey, I'm fine to fly, this and that and everything. I mean, if there's like certain, actual conditions that prevent you from flying. But the other argument is, if you have any mental health issues whatsoever, it's like, nope, don't even think about flying. Don't even think about it. Not one bit. And the sad part is at least for me, I mean, flying is like just the most amazing thing ever. It's just, you feel so amazing because your brain is so fully engaged and you just have, just such a feeling of euphoria. I mean, it's better than, well, it's more expensive, but it's better than paying for a shrink. I'll tell you that much. But on the forums, you can't say that you've ever had any mental issues because they'll just take flying away from you. The one thing that makes you happy, they'll just take it away from you. So the pilots are in kind of a bind here, where it's like, well, I need to talk to someone or this and that or whatever, but you don't want to lose your job because I'll tell you right now, losing your job and not having the money to pay for anything, that's a gamble because you're going to say, no, can't be a pilot and can't make a living, can't pay for anything, this and that, you'll lose everything. So, yeah, you don't want to say anything and you just hope for the best and hope you get your shit under control. In my opinion, the FAA is really not reasonable about that. I mean, on one hand, you want to be like, yeah, my pilot is, got his shit together, but I hate to tell you, man, unless you're borderline personality disorder or schizophrenic or something or this and that, yeah, nobody has their shit together that much. All right. I know some people go to like some insane gloss level, but this is impressive right here. That's impressive. Maybe a little more right there. Let's see if we can fix that a little. I was really leery using this one. There you go. We're just gonna work our way up to the grits. On the radio is a commercial for 1-800-CARS Kids. KRS Cars to Kids. Oh no, we're accepting property too. Like, no shit. And anything else of value. If you want to give it to us, fuck it. Do it. Alright. Okay. Oh, much better. Much better, everybody. Alright, let's see if we can make this happen here. Alright. So this will be essentially where the bottom of it is, and it needs to go in about that far. Got that? Good. Alright, I don't know about you guys, but I always find this to be really kind of scary because here you are, you're drilling into the spinning thing, and I had like, I used a bit or a wrong bit or something like that, and what happened was I was going in and the thing like jerked or went off center or something like that, and it like the wood just exploded, shit everywhere, this and that. So I'm always really leery drilling into wood like this. I don't know, guys. Alright, so we have our bit is nice and sharp on the nice sharp side, so let's just go ahead and take our time to do a nice, even, good job to scrape out the middle. Nothing can possibly go wrong, right? Okay, let's watch and see. Okay, is the suspense building? I hope so. We're doing a good job. We're going nice and easy. We're using a nice sharpened... Oh, there it went. Yep. Now, what do you think happened? Let me know in the comments. You can pretty much say anything from you're an idiot to something about physics, the outside, this and that, whatever. I don't know. You gotta help me out here. So anyway, crank that puppy down nice and tight. And of course, It's not in round. You can never get it back in round. I swear to God, there's like something with the Matrix or something. Or if the Illuminati are in charge, they need to fix this, okay? But needless to say, I'm going to go ahead and give it another shot because, you know, I'm that kind of guy, just, you know, glutton for punishment, I guess. So we're just going to go ahead and, you know, scrape the inside and try and get that nice and round, at least in the inside or something. At least get it to where we're ready to sand, okay? That's it. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's give it a little squirt of air, just get all the dust out. See how we're doing here. Now, you can tell that I'm using, this is a very ancient technique of measuring things. It's called eyeballing it and using your finger to kind of think how far it goes in. I don't know. Don't be rude on me here, guys. This is made for kids, okay? All right. Okay, so now I'm using the what the hell's that carbide one that has like a slight rounding to it? I think that's the one I'm using. A little squirt of air, but basically all I'm trying to do is just get it, you know, like nice and smooth. Because you can sand the snot out of it, you know, but really you gotta give the sanding somewhere to start. And if you make a really good smooth surface, then that's a good way to start the sanding process. All right, let's just fix the outside of it just a little bit here. Now here's the thing, guys. Hold that bit, you're doing like a really delicate touch, but what you gotta do is like hold it super tight. I mean, like really grip the snot out of this thing, but you're barely touching the wood. You're like just barely kissing it, you know, not like a French kiss on a second date or something. You know, you gotta really nice and gentle. Okay, while this does look like another fun-filled activity, we are actually just sanding the inside. Now I'm putting a glove on here because what happens is friction causes heat, and is what we're doing is if you hold the little, you know, sanding paper in your fingers and you're sanding the hell out of things, it gets really hot, and then you have to explain to your wife why your fingertips are all burnt. So anyway, put some gloves on, have fun. Sand it through the grits, and then now if everything's looking good, you're ready to start cleaning up because we're going to go for our surface treatment here. I use acetone, okay? I don't know what you guys use, but I use acetone. So what it does, it just kind of gets all the dust and dirt and this and that, and if any contaminants on it or whatever. But really I'm using it just to kind of clean out all the dust. And the reason I'm using acetone and not water is because acetone dries quickly. If you use water, what happens is the wood will start expanding and doing all kinds of weird, awful stuff. But acetone cleans it, but keeps the moisture out because it evaporates so quickly. And then, as you just saw, we're going to use boiled linseed oil this time. Why? I don't know. Don't ask why. Just I'm using boiled linseed oil. I've tried a bunch of different tongue oil, this oil, that oil. But I want boiled linseed oil. It does have it will yellow due to the boiling of the linseed oil, but I've had really good luck with it on some other stuff. You know, really rub it in, be real generous with it, really soak that oil into that wood because once it dries and hardens, it's actually really quite durable. Artists use linseed oil, but it's a different. You don't use boiled linseed oil in your paintings, okay? I'm just telling you right now, don't do it. Use refined linseed oil if you're doing an oil painting, because it doesn't yellow. And like I said, when the linseed oil cures or hardens or whatever it does, it's actually really quite a durable surface. You know, I don't know if it's the oil paints or the linseed oil itself, but it's quite durable. All right, everyone, time for this. What do you think's gonna happen? Huh? Here we go. Here we go. Hang on. Hang on. Does it capture it? Do we do a good job? Where does it go out into the street? Booyah! It went right out into the street, guys. Good job, everyone. Anyway, after going and retrieving the cup, give it a little sanding. I put a little linseed oil on the bottom. And look at this. We got ourselves a cup. Yeah, it's nice and solid, sturdy. Feels good in the hand. It's not going to break. You know, like if that was a glass that you're wood turning and, and you shot off in the street, it'd just be glass in the street, you know. But no, you gotta, you know, you could like, you know, fill this with mead and then slam it down on the table and say, bring me the wench, with something like this, you know. I should totally video something like that. Anyway, here's just some more glamour shots now that I found the light to shine on it. I love some of the figuring in it though, you know. It has like really good figuring. And it's not poor, so it didn't leak or anything. And yeah, I don't know, man. I like it. I think it's pretty good. You know, solid cup. It'll be available on Etsy. Do me a huge favor, click like and subscribe, and tell me to go screw myself.